What's up, everybody? Justin here. I'm back with a new Year in Wrestling Reloaded. This is 1987 Year in Wrestling Reloaded Part 1. Talk and give you some news items from 1987 in the year of wrestling. I'm going to do a review of and give you the results of the Jim Crockett Tag Team Tournament for 87 and other stuff. Saturday Night Main Events, I'm going to review them. So anyways, 1987, these are some news items. February 28th, Jim Neidhart is indicted by a federal grand jury on charges of assaulting and interfering with a flight attendant. But he was acquitted. So that news is. I never heard that, but it's right here. It's Wrestling Almanac. So let's skip to April 9th. Jim Crockett Promotions purchases the Universal Wrestling Federation from Bill Watts. UWF used to be Mid-South. And they got some talent from UWF, but not all their talent. Because One Man Gang, he was in the UWF. He was the UWF World Champion at one point. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. They didn't go to NWA. They decided to go to Vince and work for WWF in 1987. I mean, the only guys that NWA got, Jim Crockett got from UWF, the only guys that were really any good were Rick Steiner, Sting, I guess Terry Taylor. He was decent. He was a good enough wrestler, and that's him. Oh, Dr. Death, Steve Williams, they got him too. So, what else here? So, May 11th. Let's go to May 11th. Kevin Von Erich collapses in the middle of the ring during an 8-man tag. And I don't know why he collapsed. So he started turning blue. I don't know. He was brought back, or he woke up. Guy probably passed out because maybe he's overworked. I don't know. So, May 26th, 1987. This is a famous story. Here it is. Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Iron Sheik are arrested by New Jersey State Police. Duggan is charged with possession of marijuana and drinking alcohol while driving. Iron Sheik is charged with possession of cocaine and marijuana. Duggan receives discharge, so they let him go. Iron Sheik receives 1 year probation. And after this, Iron Sheik was fired, basically, by WWF. He was not brought back. But Hacksaw Jim Duggan was. So just very stupid, but it was the 80s. It was a cocaine era, party era, drug era. There were a lot of drugs in wrestling in the 80s. Not just steroids. I mean, just about every guy looked like he's on steroids. Just about every wrestler. But anyways, very stupid that they were driving and drinking, and just stupid. I'm sure a lot of wrestlers partied in the car, did drugs and drank, but they never got busted, the other boys that did it. So now I'm going to talk about basically the first big event of 1987 was Saturday Night's Main Event. On January... I gotta go back. I have the results here on the internet. I gotta go back to the event. So it was taped on December 14th, 86, but it was shown on January 3rd, 87. It was from Hartford, Connecticut. So, one of the matches, Blackjack Mulligan defeated Jimmy Jack Funk. Again, I've seen all these Saturday Night main events. I haven't watched them all in probably 2-3 years, but I have seen them all. So, because in my first year in wrestling series, I didn't give you the results of any Saturday Night main event, so this is Year in Wrestling Reloaded. This is the time to give the results to Saturday Night main events. Blackjack Mulligan, as I said, defeated Jimmy Jack Funk. 2-minute match. 2 minutes, 31 seconds. I'm sure it was not very good. Probably boring. Both guys, I didn't care for either guy. Adrian Adonis. I thought he was pretty damn good even when he got really fat. The guy could still work. Adrian Adonis with Jimmy Hart, his manager, defeated Rowdy Piper by countout, but that was only 3 minutes, 35 seconds. Junkyard Dog. I liked him. Defeated Harley Race. Harley Race was with his manager Bobby Heenan. Junkyard Dog defeated him by disqualification in a 6-minute match. Now, before the main event, the Intercontinental Championship was on the line. Macho Man Randy Savage defeated George the Animal Steele. George the Animal Steele was with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in his corner. Of course, Macho Man had Miss Elizabeth. So that match was 8 minutes, 30 seconds. Wasn't a good of a match from what I remember, but it was entertaining. Crowd was really into the storyline with George Animal Steele feuding with Macho Man, and George Animal Steele was like obsessed with Elizabeth. That was really entertaining. A really entertaining storyline, I thought. So the main event. Very famous main event. Hulk Hogan defending the WWF Championship. Hulk Hogan defeating Paul Orndorff with Bobby Heenan in a steel cage. Match was 10 minutes, 42 seconds. It was a really good match. I enjoyed it. Crowd was really on fire. And both guys were climbing down the cage at the same time, and looked like they both jumped down at the same time, but Hogan made it down first, and his feet touched the floor first. So Hulk Hogan wins and retained. To the next Saturday Night's Main Event. On March 14th, 87, this was a lot of hyping up WrestleMania 3, because it would be coming in about 2 weeks later. So up first, we had Macho Man Randy Savage defeat George the Animal Steele again, but this time is by countout. And it's for the Intercontinental title, and if George the Animal Steele won, he would get Miss Elizabeth, would have to be his manager. So now we have a battle royal. I believe is 20-man. A 20-man over the top rope battle royal. You had guys like Killer Bees were in there, Demolition, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant were in there. I believe Butch Reed and a lot of other guys. Lanny Poffo, Honky Tonk Man, and probably a lot of other guys I can't think of. But, anyways, Hercules Hercules wins the Battle Royal, last eliminating Billy Jack Haynes. And they would have a match at WrestleMania 3, which was not that good. And Billy Jack Haynes, now, that guy's gone crazy. That guy's gone mental. His older age, that guy's gone totally mental. So anyways, Billy Jack Haynes, wherever you are, you're an idiot. Up next, King Kong Bundy with Bobby Heenan defeated Jake the Snake Roberts by disqualification. Up next, you have a tag match. The Hart Foundation and Danny Davis, the referee, Danny Davis, the cheating referee that is banned for life from refereeing, and then he became a wrestler. He wasn't a good wrestler, but he was a good heel. He had a lot of heat. And then somehow, after Danny Davis stopped wrestling in I believe 1990 or 89, the guy appeared again as a referee. But he wasn't a heel and he wasn't crooked. He wasn't a crooked referee anymore. But he came back, still had a job. After they said he's banned for life, then he shows up and is a referee again, I believe around 1990. Definitely was a referee in 91. Even in 94, he was still there in WWF. I believe Danny Davis is still alive. I wonder what that guy's doing nowadays. Hopefully he's not wrestling on the indies, because he was no good as a wrestler. But he was a good heel. So the Hart Foundation and Danny Davis defeated Tito Santana and Dan Spivey. Dan Spivey wouldn't be around long in WWF. He's only there 86, 87, and he's gone. And then in 89, he appeared in the NWA with Sid Vicious, and they became the Skyscrapers. So up next, Ricky Steamboat defeated the Iron Sheik. The Iron Sheik was managed by Slick. So here's the results of the Battle Royal, the eliminations. First eliminated was Honky Tonk Man by Hulk Hogan. Then a Samoan, Sika, I can't really pronounce his name, but I think it's Sika. Sika, one of the Wild Samoans, was eliminated by Andre the Giant. Haku was eliminated by Andre. Lanny Poffo was eliminated by Andre. Ron Bass was eliminated by Hulk Hogan. Blackjack Mulligan was eliminated by Andre. Andre's on fire in this Battle Royal, eliminating everybody because he was Andre the Giant. And if anybody didn't want to get thrown over the top by Andre or didn't want to do the job for him, they really didn't have a choice, because he was a giant and he would have killed you, and he didn't care if he probably hurt you. Bam Bam Bigelow once said in an interview that Andre the Giant tried to kill him in the ring, and he was stepping on his head. That's not cool to do that to your opponent, because you got to work together. You're taking each other's bodies into your own hands. Basically, the other person, your opponent, they're risking their life. And you're responsible for them to not injure them or drop them on their head. But Andre, sometimes the guy was a giant. The guy had severe back pain. The guy had back surgeries. The guy wanted to retire. Before WrestleMania 3, he was done wrestling. He was going to make movies. He made The Princess Bride. But Vince, I guess, went to France, where Andre was living, and Vince talked him into coming back to face Hogan and do the job for Hogan. And Vince told Andre how much it would mean to him and how much it would mean for Andre to give back to wrestling. what I don't understand is after Andre did the job to Hogan, he stuck around for years and years and kept appearing and wrestling when he could barely move. But Andre was an attraction. He was still money. Even in 1990, he was still big money for the company to appear. Andre's last ever wrestling appearance was at WrestleMania 6, and I don't even believe he got tagged in the match. He barely did anything. But the guy's in pain, and again, Andre's in a bad mood a lot of times, probably because the guy's a giant, and probably because he's in pain. So I don't blame Andre for being in a bad mood and being rude and nasty to other wrestlers. A lot of wrestlers say Andre is a great guy. People that knew him say he was a great guy. He was fun to be with, fun to party with. But a lot of other wrestlers say he's a jerk, like Iron Sheik, Bam Bam, say he's a real ass to be around. So, more eliminations. You had Nikolai Volkov get eliminated by Hogan. Brian Blair get eliminated by Andre. Paul Orndorff got eliminated by Hogan. Hogan then was eliminated by Andre. And then Andre taunted him. When Hogan is outside the ring, Andre is going like this, taunting him, because they would face off in a couple weeks at WrestleMania 3, and probably one of the greatest WrestleMania matches, main events of all time, in my opinion. At least one of the biggest main events of all time was Andre vs. Hogan. So, other eliminations, Jim Brunzell, Jumping Jim, was eliminated by Andre. Andre eliminated Hillbilly Jim. Andre eliminated a lot of people. Axe eliminated Hillbilly Jim, I guess, of Demolition. Or Hillbilly Jim was eliminated by Smash, one of the two. Anyways, Hercules won the Battle Royal. Now, let's do the next main event. Saturday night's main event on May 2nd, 1987. Kamala with Honky Tonk Man for some reason. Kamala defeated Jake the Snake. Macho Man Randy Savage again. The third Saturday night's main event in a row. The third one in a row. Macho Man defeated George the Animal Steele. It was a lumberjack match. 2 out of 3 falls for the tag team titles. This was really good. British Bulldogs with Tito Santana defeated the Hart Foundation by disqualification. So I believe Hart Foundation retained. Ricky Steamboat, the new Intercontinental Champion, because May 2nd, 87 was after WrestleMania 3. Ricky Steamboat, new Intercontinental Champion, defeated Hercules by disqualification. And the final match was the Can-Am Connection. Rick Martel and Tom Zink with Hacksaw Jim Duggan defeated Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik. So now I'm going to talk about whatever, Jim Crockett, or wrong book, here it is. The Jim Crockett, wherever it is, Jim, I apologize for coughing, I'm getting over being sick. So, 1987, Jim Crockett Sr. Memorial Tag Team Tournament. It took place on 2 days, April 10th and 11th. It took place in Baltimore. So, the first round was Thunderfoot, whoever that is. 1 and 2 defeated Bobby Jaggers and Rocky King. Congo the Barbarian and Bill Dundee defeated Mike Rotundo and Tim Horter. Shasta Watley and something Khan defeated Jimmy Valiant and Lasertron. Don't know who Lasertron is. Never heard of the guy. Dusty Rhodes, I believe, was booking in '87. So he probably booked the entire Jim Crockett Memorial Tag Team Tournament. The next match, they're all tag matches because it's a tag team tournament. Jimmy and Ronnie Garvin defeated the Italian Stallion and Ricky Lee Jones. Todd Champion and Denny Brown defeated Bill and Randy Mulkey. Steve Kern and George South. A lot of these guys are jobbers. Bad, whatever. These Steve Kern, George South they went to a draw with Nelson Royal and Mike Graham. Bob and Brad Armstrong defeated Ivan Koloff and his partner by disqualification. The Mob Squad defeated Wahoo McDaniel and Baron Von Raschke. Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff, Rick Rude, Manny Fernandez, the Road Warriors, the Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, Arn Anderson and Kevin Sullivan. And Tully Blanchard and Lex Luger received byes into the second round. I don't know why. So second round matches. Rick Rude and Manny Fernandez defeated the Thunderfoots. Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff defeated Congo and Bill Dundee. The Road Warriors defeated Watley and Khan. The Midnight Express defeated the Garvins. Somebody, Baba and Tango, defeated Champion and Brown. The Armstrongs defeated Arn Anderson and Kevin Sullivan. Tully Blanchard, Lex Luger defeated the Mob Squad. Now we're into the quarterfinals. Tully Blanchard and Lex Luger defeated the Armstrongs. The Midnight Express defeated the Road Warriors by DQ. Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff defeated Manny Fernandez and Rick Rude. Baba and his partner defeated the Rock and Roll Express. So now we go to semifinals. Tully Blanchard, Lex Luger defeated Baba and his partner. Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff defeated the Midnight Express. Now we go to the finals. Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff defeat Tully Blanchard and Lex Luger to win the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Tag Team Tournament in 1987. So non-tournament matches, you had Ole Anderson defeat Big Bubba Rogers in a cage, and NWA World Champion Ric Flair defeated Barry Windham. So that was the 1987 Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Tag Team Tournament. So now I'm going to go to the Great American Bash, 87. So on July 2nd, in Maryland, Dusty Rhodes and Nikita Koloff and the Road Warriors defeated the Four Horsemen, Ole, Arn Anderson, Lex Luger, and Ric Flair, probably in a War Games. July 4th, Atlanta, Georgia. The Road Warriors, Paul Ellering, Dusty Rhodes, and Nikita Koloff defeated the Horsemen and J.J. Dillon in the first ever War Games match. And it was epic. NWA Tag Team Champions, the Rock and Roll Express. And U.S. Tag Team Champions, the Midnight Express, would have a match. And the Rock and Roll Express defeated the Midnight Express. But it was not for the U.S. Tag titles. Steve Williams, Dr. Death, defeated Dick Murdoch. Lex Luger defeated U.S. Champion Nikita Koloff in a cage to win the U.S. title. NWA World Champion Ric Flair defeated Jimmy Garvin in a steel cage. That was... I have Great American Bash 87 on DVD. Ric Flair, Jimmy Garvin, that was really hard-hitting. That was a really hard-hitting, good cage match. Good world title match. Ric Flair took a beating. The guy was getting chopped over and over by Jimmy Garvin. But Ric Flair retained. So now we go to July 11th, Oklahoma. Steve Williams defeated UWF champion Big Bubba Rogers to win the title. Then we go to July 18th in Charlotte, North Carolina. Barry Windham defeated, or Western States champion Barry Windham defeated Big Bubba Rogers. Steve Williams and Terry Gordy. They were a hell of a team. They defeated Dick Murdoch and Eddie Gilbert. U.S. champion Lex Luger defeated Nikita Koloff by DQ. NWA World Champion Ric Flair defeated Road Warrior Hawk by DQ. Dusty Rhodes defeated Tully Blanchard in a 100,000 anything goes match. Now we go to Chicago. July 19th. This was the Great American Bash 87 tour. Road Warrior Animal defeated NWA World Champ Ric Flair by DQ. July 31st. Miami, Florida. Dusty Rhodes, Nikita Koloff, and the Road Warriors defeated the Four Horsemen and the War Machine in a War Games match. NWA Tag Team Champions, the Rock and Roll Express, defeated the Midnight Express. And Florida Champion Mike Rotundo defeated Ivan Koloff. So that is the Great American Bash 87. Again, I have it on DVD. Not all those matches, but a lot of them. And it's a very good show. I don't know why they don't have Great American Bash 87 on the network. WWE Network. You need to get Great American Bash 87 uploaded on the network. So this ends part 1 of Year in Wrestling Reloaded. I'll start part 2 off with talking about the October 87 Saturday Night's Main Event. Hope you enjoyed part 1 of Year in Wrestling Reloaded 1987. Bye for now.